Seems like in 2023, everybody and their brother is trying to lose some weight and they're looking for easy ways to do it. But the truth is, there's not always an easy way to do something. There's not always a magic pill that you can take and just drop 50 pounds, even if that's what they claim. And that's probably the hardest pill to swallow. But there are some easy things that you can do daily that'll help you lose weight and keep it off long term. And today, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And no, it's not some diet fad. And while those can work in the short term, long term, people tend to not follow them, and they end up being more of crash diets than anything else. You see, the code to weight loss has been cracked a long time ago, and all you really need is a caloric deficit. And today, there are 3 things that I wanted to give you that will help you on that journey: a positive, a negative, and a neutral gen for all you Avatar nerds. But in simpler terms, it'll help you consume less calories, burn more calories, and kind of understand how many you need to do of both of those in order to lose weight and keep it off long term. And number 1 is not so much something that'll cause you to lose weight, but it's something that'll help you get an idea of how much you need to actually eat every day to lose weight consistently. With that being said, number 1, find your maintenance. What do I mean by that? Now, there are 2 things that you need to take into account when finding your maintenance, and that's how many calories do you eat and how many calories do you burn on a daily basis. And let's start with tracking your calories. This is something that all beginners should do because this helps build a solid foundation of knowledge that you can apply to eating from here on out. And once you build this foundation, it's something that you'll keep in the back of your mind every time that you want to go out to eat or you cook yourself a meal at home. Because once you understand how tracking your calories works, you'll kind of start to get a grasp on how many calories are in each of the foods you eat. Now, what I recommend is starting off by tracking the foods that you eat on a regular basis. We all have our go-to meals and things we eat every week, and tracking these will help give you an idea of how much you eat every day. There will be some times where you can't track this stuff, such as when you go out to eat and the nutritional info is not given, but you can use the knowledge that you gain of tracking your calories in this short period of time to that in order to make better nutritional decisions later on. Most experts in weight loss, not talking about bodybuilders because they definitely still track, but most people, once they get to a certain point, they don't actually need to track anymore. And so what they can do is they can access that database that they've built in their mind over time to help give them an idea of what they're consuming when they do. So that way they make those better choices without having to type it into a phone. Personally, I still use the phone and I have been for a little over a year tracking everything. And this is why I've lost 50 pounds in the last year, is because I've been tracking every little detail to make sure. Was it body dysmorphia that caused me to do this? Probably. Do I care? No, I got healthier in the process and I make smarter choices now than I have ever done in my entire life. And I think that is because of tracking my calories. I'm gonna link an app down below that I use every day that has helped me tremendously in my weight loss journey. Little side tip, weighing the ingredients in your food is time consuming at first, but it does get easier. And it is something that I do consistently on a daily basis. The next step is actually pretty easy, especially if you have a smartphone. And if you're watching this, you probably do. If you have a fitness tracker, that's even better, because the next step is to find your activity level. So you need to know how many calories you burn on a daily basis if you want to be consistently losing weight. And to do this, it helps to have a BMR calculator. And I've linked one in the description below that I've been using since I started my weight loss journey, and I think it could help you too. Now in this calculator, it's gonna ask you to estimate your daily activity level, and that's where you really need to be honest with yourself. Are you active every day, and for how long? For people like me, desk job workers, we're probably not as active as we think we are, so it's probably best to underestimate how much we actually move. And for people that are on their feet all day, nurses, construction workers, important people, they probably can put what they actually think, because burning calories probably isn't a problem for them. And that's why this step is more important for the desk job workers than it is for those people. The best way for the people that are on their feet all day to lose weight is going to be by monitoring their calories. But the best way for the desk job workers is going to be to up their activity, especially if they've seen a consistent weight over time. And as long as you don't eat more while burning more calories, then you're definitely gonna lose weight. And this brings me to number 2, which is adding steps where you wouldn't think you would actually be walking that much. This is a trick that I use on myself with my daily step goal. I try to get 10,000 every day, and that number is completely arbitrary. It doesn't mean anything, and it was developed way back a long time ago in Japan for no reason, because the number sounded cool, but that's what I shoot for. And to help me get to these 10,000 steps a day, I'll take steps when I'm doing random house stuff, such as brushing my teeth, or when I have something on the stove, I'll be pacing up and down the kitchen and to the living room and back, and just waiting on it to cook. But this has helped me get to my 10,000, and it's increased my daily calorie expenditure by probably around 400 to 500 calories a day that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise if I wouldn't be walking at weird times. Now, people are gonna look at you kind of funny if you do it in front of them, like at their house or something, so try to keep this in your own house, okay? And I'm not responsible for the insults they're gonna give you if you do start working at their house, so keep that in mind. And one more thing, instead of laying on the couch and looking at social media like TikTok and Instagram, get up and walk while you're doing it. It can't hurt, and you're gonna be looking at your phone anyway, so you may as well be doing something productive while you're scrolling through Instagram. Now, number 2 was about increasing your daily calorie expenditure. So naturally, number 3 is going to be about reducing your calorie intake. And to do that, you're going to need to reduce the amount of calories that you consume from beverages. The reason for this is because you can take those calories that you were going to consume anyway from your beverage and use them for food to keep you full longer and satiated. So that way you don't go reaching for snacks later. In my opinion, drinking your calories is just a waste of calories, and you should look at it kind of like a budget each day. Like, how many calories am I going to be allowed to eat? And you set that budget and try not to go over it. And removing these drinks, these sugary drinks like sweet tea, Cokes, sugary coffee, reducing that intake of that is going to help dramatically on your satiety levels and keep you from grabbing those snacks at 12 a.m. Now, completely cutting out these beverages is going to be really difficult for some. So I do recommend reducing them where you can, such as drinking diet drinks instead of regular, replacing your coffee creamers with the low-fat versions of those, and replacing your sugars with the fake stuff. Now, a little disclaimer, I'm not saying that any of this is healthier. I'm not saying sucralose and stevia are healthier than sugar. All I'm saying is that they will help you lose weight. And if you do like drinking those sugary and creamy coffees, I gotta ask you a question. Why? Do you not like the taste of coffee? You can just say you don't like coffee. You would rather drink cereal milk. Just drink your coffee black. Coffee tastes good. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And who knows? Maybe you learned something.